morning or afternoon, depending on what time you watch this, or maybe evening, I don't know. I'm Simon. This is
Adam. Hi.
Adam. Hi. So today we've got a brief bit where we're going to go for a bit of an exercise. We're going to have a walk around a local area, bit of a mooch, see what we can find. I'm by no means an expert on all plants, but I do know a lot of them. If we find any today, I'm going to describe them, the ones I recognise and what they're for and what you can do with them. Also, it's always a good idea if you go out looking, foraging or fancy eating from what's around you, which is a good thing. You should always have a good field guide or be with somebody who knows what they're doing or can identify things properly. You should never eat anything you don't know what it is, especially funguses and things like that. So in the next part I'll see what we can find. We're also going to have a look for some catapults.
And we've already got some catapults.
We've got some catapults what we collected already, which are drying out. They'll be for next season, which we will hunt with. Try and get some pigeons, pheasants, rabbit, things like that.
Like rabbit stew.
Rabbit stew. Are you going to eat it?
Probably dogs.
Probably dogs. Oh, well, I'll eat a bit of rabbit stew anyway. Okay, so as soon as we find something, I'll add to this clip. See you in a bit.
We need to like going down.
Hi, right, we're back on the air, as it were. Just come down to a track near where I live. I'm just going to point out personally my pet hate. To me, that is disgusting. If you're going to pick up your dog's mess, put it in a bin, hang it in a tree. You might as well just leave the mess. For me, at least it's going to go away. That's going to be there for ages. So we've just come down to a local track, not far from Crooks. There's all sorts going on around here. My advice, if you're ever looking for food or edible plants, things like that, especially even if you know what you're doing, I'd keep away from tracks where there's going to be dogs urinating, things like that. It's a good idea to keep away from the side of the road as well, just because obviously plants breathe, they're ingesting them fumes from the cars. So you want to be looking at places out of the way, where you know what you're getting is basically fresh. First point we've come to, straight away we've found these are wild strawberries. Adam, also known as the creamy strawberry. It's a good idea especially if you fetch kids with you, that they can take a leaf and you can always check it when you get home, make little diaries and things like that, so you can put that in your pocket. Yeah, alright, come on. Now on a track like this, it's obviously well used. I wouldn't eat anything from here, but it's amazing. Straight away, I mean, we've only come down here and we've already, this is hedge mustard. Smell that, can you smell? It's like very garlicky smell. It's very edible in the right place, good in salads. It's a biennial plant, so it's a 2-year cycle. The first part of the year, especially if it's this time of year, they're quite close to the ground, but as the plant gets into its second year, then it will come up and flower. Have you put that in your pocket? Excellent. So off we go. With tracks like this, there's literally all sorts. You've got laburnum, there's all kinds of trees and ash and sycamores, and whenever you find things like the little strawberries and stuff, it's always a good idea to just remember where you found them, because you know, in a few months' time there's going to be things that you can use and eat. All around here there are blackberries. These are actually old allotments, sit quite close to the one. I've got a couple around here. Wherever there's allotments and people have been growing things, you often find that you get a lot of self-set things. So people will start off with good faith to grow things, and then obviously birds carry things off.
This in my bag.
What?
Could you put this in my bag? I don't want to hold it.
No. I actually came down here a few weeks ago, and one thing I managed to find, which I'm hoping I can get a cutting from or a small plant, is some gooseberries. There's a big wild gooseberry bush, and I'm hoping I can get either a small plant off it to take back. Just round here, hold on. Here we are, look, wild gooseberry bush. This was probably planted in this allotment up here, and it's basically been left and abandoned. Now you can take cuttings off them, but they're quite difficult. But what I'm looking for is like this, look. There, that is exactly what we want. There we go.
Will it die?
No. So we've got.
Take that home.
Yeah, put it in your bag. Try not. That's it. Try not to. It's prickly. So that's his first little forage. Free gooseberry bush, and we'll plant that up when we get back, and that'll be really great. See what else we can find. So we're back on the track. I'll show you this just because this is going to come in really handy over the next few months. This is basically privet hedge, which is very old and not looked after. One thing with privet is it tends to grow straight, so in a few months when we need some sticks for our runner beans, this is where I'll be coming, because there's loads and loads of really strong straight sticks like this, look, nice and straight, and save you buying canes and things like that, like that one, but not long enough. Come on. So I'm back on this track, and I've spotted some foxgloves, which are great growing wild like these. A plant like this in a garden centre would probably cost you, I don't know, £2 or £3 I would have thought. Foxgloves not to be eaten at all, poisonous, but have a lovely flower, brilliant for bumblebees. So we're going to collect a couple of foxgloves and see what else we can find. There's literally brambles everywhere, and blackberries and blackcurrants.
Blackcurrants there.
No, they're not blackcurrants. So yeah, we'll plant these back at the house as well. So we've just come down onto one of the meadows. Can you tell me what this is, Adam?
Strawberry?
Strawberry? It'll sting you, that.
Oh, nettle.
Nettle. So, nettle. If you touch it, it's going to sting you, isn't it? Right. Without doubt, the nettle is by far the most nutritious plant that you can find out there. It's full of everything. You've got vitamins A, C. I think you can, I mean, it hasn't got D in it, but you get that from the sunshine as well. So it's great. If it's got a 2-cycle stage to its life, so the best time to eat a nettle is before it's flowered. Once it's flowered and seeded, then it turns into a different plant altogether. Becomes not good for you, can upset your stomach and everything. So, but if you pick the young tips of a nettle, you can basically harvest it throughout the year. You can do all sorts with it. You know, people make tea from it, and you can eat it. It's a great source of fibre, and you know, if you put your mind to making things with it, there's just so many things you can do if you really need to eat it. So we're going to have a walk around on this meadow and see what else we can find. So we're almost on his way back, and I've just come across a really nice little cat. If you look here, this is the sort of thing we're looking for. So we're just going to nip that off onto there, and we'll take that home to dry. And what do we do with them once we get them? We try and find
rubber bands.
No, we try and find dead trees if possible, and we don't take off small trees. If it's already fell, that's even better, because we don't have to dry it out. But we're going to cut this one off and
dry it out,
put it to dry, and then we'll show you some catapult making. Well, probably in the next video. We found some real nice foxgloves today. We've got some gooseberry bush which we're going to plant. I was hoping to find some burdock, but we had a good walk around the meadows and I couldn't really find anything. Burdock's something I really like. It's something that you can use the root from. I will find some in a later video. It's brilliant for, it's basically the roots, the tubers. You can quite bark, you peel them off, and there's like a white centre which you can eat, and they're really good for if you like me, you've got arthritis or any kind of rheumatoid arthritis. They're really good for that. They also clear toxins out your blood, and it's an aphrodisiac as well. So we're going to try and find some burdock at a later date. So I'll see you in the next bit. Okay, so we're back home. Adam's got his catapult. Show him. So this will be really nice. Make a nice little cat. I'm going to dry it out, and then I'll show you how we take the bark off and craft it and things like that. This little area, what I talked about the other day under the hebe, we'll put the foxgloves, because they're shallow rooting and they'll pretty much stick to anything. They love banks and they love shady places that get sun occasion through the day, so not too much sun. And we've got the tiny little gooseberry bush, which is nice because it's free, foraged and free. So thanks for watching. I would have liked to have got a few more bits, but as spring comes, so does all the new growth, and there's a lot of things starting to come out now. So be a lot more plants I'll be able to show you, and get out there, get yourself a field guide, take the kids, and start identifying plants. It's great for kids to learn, and get some off the tablets. Isn't that right, Adam?
Yeah, I'm always on the tablet.
He's always on the tablet. So if you like the video, please share it, subscribe to the Yorkshire Pudding. Thanks again for watching. See you later.